Coming up on this edition of Carolina Insider, find out how USC is embracing all kinds of love ahead of this weekend's famously hot South Carolina Pride. And with shelters at capacity, find out why now is the perfect time to bring home a pup of your own.
He just brings like a different energy to the household.
But first, why low-income seniors are left searching for a new place to live. Carolina Insider starts now. Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Kiki Gushue. Our top story today, affordable housing is becoming challenging for the Midlands. That's according to a new study published by USC's Darla Moore School of Business. This is hitting senior citizens particularly hard. Here now with more on that from one historic building near downtown Columbia is our own Sarah Kraft. Sarah?
Thank you, Kiki. I'm here at the Wardlaw Apartments, which is a low-income housing option for senior citizens. But its residents might have to find a new place to call home for a while. Empty halls greet people when they come to the Wardlaw Apartments. Developers are going to renovate the inside of the complex, forcing residents to leave temporarily. Some residents have called these apartments home for over a decade. The people I talked to are struggling to find another place to live.
I don't have the money to even look for an apartment.
According to a letter delivered to residents, they have 60 days or until their lease ends to move out. The renovation is estimated to cost $1.4 million. Back to you, Kiki.
Thank you, Sarah. Wardlaw residents aren't the only ones facing an uncertain future. Reporter Jace Leonard takes us to Columbia's animal shelter, where overcrowding is leading to euthanasia for a number of dogs.
Foster care programs are full, and shelters everywhere are at capacity. Adoption or euthanasia are the final options for many dogs at Columbia Animal Services. A pup who got his happy ending is Snoop Dogg, who was taken home by senior at USC Patrick Johnson just over a month ago.
It just felt like it was the right thing to do because I know a lot of people, especially with him, he's like a pit mix, and a lot of people are scared to like get dogs like that.
The reality is that a lot of dogs like Snoop are the ones filling the shelters and the euthanasia lists. I submitted a Freedom of Information Act to the City of Columbia for the euthanasia numbers over the past year, but have yet to receive any documents back. In mid-June of this year, an investigation done by WIS Columbia was successful in getting those numbers. According to them, quote, Columbia Animal Services euthanized 1,026 dogs in the 13 months from January 1st, 2022 to February 2nd, end quote. I talked to the superintendent of Columbia Animal Services, Victoria Riles. She explained how they are trying to be more transparent by posting euthanasia lists.
Around the end of July is when we started releasing euthanasia lists. Before that, we really didn't have lists in advance, so we revamped our process to allow those lists to be scheduled.
Last night, 6 dogs at Columbia Animal Services risk euthanasia. Optimistically, these dogs will be adopted and find their home just like Patrick and Snoop have found in each other.
He just brings like a different energy to the household. It makes you feel like you're really at home when you have a pet.
Her and many other dogs and cats here in this shelter and in many across the Columbia area are looking to find their forever homes. For Carolina Insider, I'm Jace Leonard.
Back on campus, a new program will give South Carolina's top high school graduates free tuition next year. To qualify, students must graduate from a South Carolina high school, be in the top 10% of their class, and families must make less than $80,000 a year. The program will cover tuition and fees, but students will have to pay for housing and books. USC's honor students are getting into the spirit of this week's Pride celebrations. Students tie-dyed bandanas, talked with LGBTQ+ professors, and made bracelets. They plan to wear their colorful creations to tonight's Pride Parade in downtown Columbia. The state's famously hot Pride Parade starts at 7 p.m. on Main Street. If you're staying in Columbia for fall break, we have some ideas for you. In today's Carolina calendar, USC's library is dusting off its home videos and putting them on the big screen. These videos were shot between 1920 to 1980 by a group called Average Women Filmmakers. You can watch the tapes from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow at the Nickelodeon Theater. No tickets are needed. If you're more into literary treasures, head over to the Richland County Library for its seasonal book sale. It runs from 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. tomorrow. Grab your favorite reads for less than $2 per book at the library's Operations Center off of River Road. That's it for this edition of Carolina Insider, a student production here in the Kennedy Greenhouse Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here next week.